Hey there. Thanks for joining us and tuning in today. Here in the sanctuary at First Baptist Church, where it's calm and quiet at the moment, but throughout the building we've been hearing demolition sounds as they've been working on a certain part of the building to get ready for renovation. So it's pretty exciting to see that happen. Hey, I want to share with you about a verse in Romans in the New Testament part of the Bible, chapter 12, verse 15, where it says, "Rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn." Lately, we've been enjoying God's creation as spring has been going by and now the beginnings of summer, and it's just been beautiful. Yesterday, I saw a small little frog under the lid to one of our rain barrels, and I'd seen one like that last year, and he just has a nice little spot. Doesn't want to be bothered, I guess, but just beautiful little creature. Mindy saw yesterday a little snake in the flower bed, no wider than a pencil, but beautiful pattern. I don't know what kind it is, but just a very small little snake. Beautiful, part of God's creation. Um, Today, Mindy saw a thrasher feed one of her young fledglings. It was on a fence rail. So I guess it's not quite a fledgling. It's out there, out of the nest now. So just neat things to be seeing. Saw a skunk crossing the road earlier this morning. He was big, big, big. We've got some swallows that have built a nest. And I don't know if you know this, but when they build a nest, they build it out of mud and they use some straw and grass and things. And it takes them about 1,000 trips to bring piece by piece what they need to make it. So it's just amazing what they do. But they've been flying around. I don't know if you know about swallows, but they kind of swoop. They're kind of like air pilots or fighter pilots who just can swoop through. And they don't like it when we get near the nest. But this spring we've seen turkeys strolling through the countryside, of course our squirrels in our woods, and we've seen lots of rabbits here lately. Sunsets, sunrises, flowers, things are turning green. It's just wonderful to see. So we've been enjoying how God has blessed us in many ways. Strawberries are starting to bear, and they're sweet and delicious. So thank God for that and His mercy. Rejoice with those who rejoice. We've been rejoicing with God in His marvelous gift, and we've also been rejoicing with others in our church and community in many ways. It's fun when we get to rejoice with people when they have a success or have good news or something great happens. Here lately, of course, we've been going to a couple of graduation parties, and it's been neat to see the evidences of the hard work some of these young people have been doing. And of course, now they've accomplished something. They have their high school diploma, heading out to college soon. Birthdays, anniversaries, somebody gets a job, all those kind of things. Great things to rejoice together. But we also mourn with those who mourn. The reason I chose the sanctuary for this devotion is in this room, though we don't live in this room sometimes we share our rejoicing, celebratory moments, anniversaries, and we share our sadness, prayer requests, tragedies, grief. So it can be any kind of thing. Someone loses a job, someone's truck needs repair, someone needs help, losing a dear loved one or a friend. And when someone's going through a time of grief and mourning, we might tend to give them a verse like Romans 8:28. A powerful promise. God says, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. And that's a great promise. And some people are at a place when they're in a tragedy or a difficult time where they can accept that and they can lean on that verse and trust God. And sometimes people, though, are hurting so deeply that they may hear the verse, but it's going to get kind of stuck in their mind and they'll let it sit there, but they're not going to focus on it right now. They just need us to remind them God is with them and that we are with them. They need our comfort and hope and the comfort and hope of God. Now listen to what is written in Psalm 73. God says, this guy's talking about God. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel. And afterward, you will take me into glory. Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire beside you. My flesh, my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. There are wonderful things in God's creation, but there's also in this world sin and tragedies and difficulties many of them are a response to sin in the world and the fall of man and the temptations of the devil. And one day God's going to make all that new. We, in our hearts, draw strength from God. We fail, we make mistakes, but we can be lifted up from our mourning and again have times of rejoicing when we realize God is with us and He's for us. So lastly, I just want to say, if your life is going well, would you reach out to somebody whose life is not going so well right now? Don't forget to come around and support them. Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. And don't forget, God is in control. He is in love with you. To God be the glory.